turn, straight and four. Chad White on the bottom. William Duff on the top. Checkered flag in the air. Who's going to win? It's William Duff. No, look out. He just junked it. Look out. Oh, my God. World's #1 streaming service. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. On the call tonight. On your feet. Off your seats. It's about to go green.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to tonight's race here at Stars and Stripes Series, the Big Mick 150 here from Richmond Raceway, and it's sure to be a good one as usual. Plenty of cars on tap to hit the track, and on the call with me tonight, a special guest for everybody. We got Mike Morgan from Juicy Spider Studios in the booth tonight. Go ahead and say hello to the people tonight, Mike, and tell us how excited you are to watch some Richmond chaos here.
Hey everybody, good to be here tonight with you guys for the Stars and Stripes race. Looks like they're going to put on quite a show tonight for us here.
Yeah, we've just been watching practice as it's gone on. I'll go ahead and throw those results on the screen for you folks at home, but it's been pretty crazy. Throughout the practice, there's been all sorts of wrecks where we've kind of been questioning ourselves, like how does that even happen at a short track like this? So they're definitely finding ways to wreck, and we're gonna see if they manage to keep it clean for the most part during the actual race.
Yeah, could be some wild crashes to see tonight, that's for sure.
We've got drivers hitting the track, among them the GOAT Scott Rickard in the 05 there on your screen. He's starting his qualifying effort. His first lap is for second. Bryce Barfield a little bit quicker. We'll see though what the second lap brings here for Scott Rickard. Several drivers hitting the track, but I gotta tell you, there's one name you won't see in qualifying hit the track. That's the 35 of Blake Hutchinson. He gets to start in the back. If you don't know, in Stars and Stripes, if you're a new driver to the series, you have to do your first 5 starts, I believe, from the back of the field. So Blake doesn't get to qualify tonight, and he is not very stoked. Will Bustler in the 1 out of Virginia.
Yeah, this is going to be...
Go ahead.
Oh, this is going to be some short track racing here tonight for sure. And
whoa, look
in
at
the back,
Bustler.
you're going to have to climb your way up.
He's sideways. Finishes his second lap sideways across the stripe and toes it. Not a good lap for the 1, but his first lap gets him in 4th. So looking like a good top 5 start for Will Bustler. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Dylan Grimm now comes across the stripe out of Fort Collins. Ben Shepard in the good old 69 car. That thing's chromed up, ready to roll. Out of Boise, Idaho, going to be starting his qualifying effort here. And a man that was fastest, or at least at one point was fastest in practice, this White Claw Seltzer machine, Tom Ogle in the 11, getting those tires warmed up out of Wooster, Ohio, fueled by a White Claw. He's got old Hutchinson Motorsports TV logos on the car, but he's ready to rip it, don't you think, Mike?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, isn't that one of the most beautiful cars you've ever seen?
I was going to mention that. It's quite the paint scheme there.
Yeah, I mean, this is some deep lore for some of the HMS TV fans out there, but we once did the Stars and Stripes Indy 500, and we sent Tom Ogle out there in a HMS TV sponsored car, and he proceeded to absolutely destroy it on screen. So those are some tough memories here, but he's trying to make a good one here as he's fastest top of the board here in qualifying with a 22.399, and I think we've got a couple more people to qualify. The man that was fastest in practice, Josh Robinson, in that beautiful basic number 30, hitting the track. And now, you know, he was top 3 last week, and we talked to him up in the booth, and I asked him, I was like, hey man, why is there no sponsors on your car? You looking for a deal, or what's going on here? And he told me that he actually worked really hard on this paint. I mean, you see the side skirts there? He put a lot of time into this, is what he told me. So I said, well, sorry for the misunderstanding. You go on ahead.
Right. Well, that's an all blue car right there. You can't miss him.
Yeah, I told him, what I should have told him is that if he managed to take home a win this year, that we'd hook him up and put some HMS TV and Juicy Spider decals on it, but I forgot to mention it. But his first lap, good enough for 10th. He hits the stripe to finish off lap number 2. What's it going to be for the 30? Top of the board for Josh Robinson. Quickest in practice, now quickest in qualifying. He beat Tom Ogle's time by 7/100ths of a second. And you got a couple more people trying. Ryan Lynch finishes his effort, and here's the 46 of Jason Gratton. Another sponsorless ride crosses the stripe. Good enough for 4th. He kicks Brian Lynch out of the top 5 here in qualifying. I think, nope, a couple more here. The 18 of Gavin Sawyer out of Richwood, Ohio, finishing up his effort. And he's gone. Oh, he didn't have enough time. Oh, that's a brutal mistake. You got to be able to get your qualifying effort in time. Gavin Sawyer can't do it. He's starting towards the back. Take a look at that beautiful cookout sign there. On the outside of this track, these drivers starting to get gridded in. And we're going to be getting ready to get this thing going here soon. But before we do that, as always, we got to go ahead and let you know who is starting where and root on your favorite drivers, because we're getting ready to go through the HMS TV starting grid tonight. Let's get it. Get some music going here. Where is the music, people? There's the music. I figured it out. I know how to work this stuff, I promise. Row number 1 is going to be the 30 of Josh Robinson and the 11 of Tom Ogle.
On row number 2, we have Scott Rickard and Jason Gratton in P number 4 right here.
Row number 3 is going to be the 7 of Kyle McCoy. Next to him is going to be the 24 of Brian Lynch.
Row number 4 is going to be Trey Jackson and Zach Kreitz.
Row number 5 brings you the 44 of Kyle Bowling, that Flow Racing machine there. And next to him, HMS TV driver, or former HMS TV driver. I don't know. He could be an HMS TV driver. We'll have to ask him later. The 37 of Bryce Barfield. I know they work together.
We got row number 6. It's Will Bustler and Nate Lynch.
Row number 7 brings you the 3 of Ryan Lynch in that cookout machine. Next to the 93 Liquid Death machine of JT Tinker.
On row number 8, we got Aaron Poplin and Larry Griffin III.
Row number 9 has the 23 Columbia machine Dylan Grimm next to Ross Tatum in the 21.
We got row number 10, Ben Shepard and Chad White.
Row number 11 is the 2 of Griffin Sawyer next to the other Sawyer, the 18 of Gavin Sawyer.
We got row number 12, William Duff and Blake Hutcherson.
The GOAT himself in row 12. Row number 13 brings you the 78 of Brian Pashimi next to the 34 of Logan Fesch-Chisholm. We got one more row to wrap it up here.
Rounding out row 14, it's Marshall Harris in the 21.
Driving that Yahoo machine. He's going to be easy to spot. Take a look at it way back here. That bright purple. We might see him charging through the field. He's one of the rookies that wasn't able to qualify, so we'll see if he's gonna make his way forward. As the lights are off on the pace car, we're getting this dang music out of here, and we've got a couple of corners before we're gonna drop the green flag for the first time tonight. Let us know in the chat who you're rooting for, because it's about to go down, and they're getting ready to go into the Juicy Spider restart zone for the first time tonight from Richmond. Green flag is out in the Stars and Stripes Series. The Big Mick 150 is officially underway. Josh Robinson, Tom Ogle side by side into turn number 1. Scott Rickard pretty clear behind him. No one challenging him. He looks to the inside of the 11 now. They better get this sorted out, or else they're going to have a battle on their hands here. Caution is out already. Dylan Grimm involved. Let's go back and take another look. The 27 of Marshall Harris is staring at him like, what are you doing? And we're going to have to go back and take another look and see what happened here from the Harpoon Design blimp. We'll go ahead and rewind it, and Mike, you can let me know what you see here when we take a look at this. What happens?
Like he kind of checked up and got out in front of him there. I'm not sure if there's anything the 77 could do there.
Yeah, we'll hop on board and take another look here. We'll rewind it. Hop on board with old Larry Griffin. See what he saw. But, man, I don't know if the 23 was trying to fit into a hole that wasn't there, or if he just came up farther than he thought he did. But 77 didn't cut him a break, and around goes Dylan Grimm early. Damage on that 77 already. 23 takes it down pit road for some tires. Oh, but that's a quick start to this race. Already under some pace laps here. Josh Robinson holds on to the lead. Tom Ogle, Scott Rickard, Kyle McCoy, and Jason Gratton round out the top 5. What do you think if we had to set an over-under here tonight, Mike, on the cautions? How many do you think we're getting? 5, 10, more? What do you think?
Well, let's hope not 10.
That makes for a long race, I gotta say.
Let's hope not 10. I'd say probably about 4 or 5.
Yeah, these guys here in Stars and Stripes are generally one of the cleanest leagues we broadcast here on HMS TV, so to have a caution this early is a little bit concerning, but, you know, hopefully that's just an outsider, or what's the word I'm looking for? Outlier, not the trend. But we go ahead and take a look through the chat. Connor Gerard in there as always. Thanks for Connor for always showing up. Jake Reif in the chat. Fun fact, that's my brother-in-law, so shout out to him for coming and watching. Nobody's picked a driver that they're rooting on tonight, so you know, I guess nobody gets to have a pick. You know what? I'm gonna make a pick on who I think's gonna win. The guy was fast in practice, or at least claimed he was, and he said I had to root him on because of an official win years ago. The 34 right here of Logan Festitian in that DoorDash machine. He told me before the race, he said, better keep an eye on me, but buddy, you're way back there in the back, so we'll have to see if that continues to be the case. Pace car is off, though. We're getting ready to drop the hammer once again as the 30 leads him into the Juicy Spider restart zone. Green flag out for the second time here from Richmond. He got a much better start that time. I think the first restart, or the first start of the race is on the green flag, so there's not really a jump you can get, but we've got another caution. The 69 is backwards there out of Boise, Idaho. Ben Shepard has some trouble, and we get to hop right back up into the Harpoon Design blimp and see what happened to him again. The GOAT Blake Hutchinson's behind him. Hopefully Blake doesn't turn him here. Oh, and he does. Blake Hutchinson just turns the 69, puts him right into the wall. I think he might have did that on purpose. What in the world?
Quite a bump.
Yeah, he definitely gave him quite a bump. We're going to have to rewind it or take a look at it again. Get a little bit of a closer angle here. The 69 might have been a little slow coming out of the corner, and Blake said, I don't have any time for that. I got to get this race over so I can get on Facebook Marketplace and start looking for some good deals. Caution number 2 is underway, and, you know, we might as well go ahead and ask him about it himself. Blake Hutchinson in the 35. Let's go ahead and see what the deal was there and what happened. Let's bring him on into the booth. Blake, it is Mike and Jesse up in the booth. What happened there? You just had the 69 just spin off your nose there. Go ahead and tell us what happened.
Yeah, well, Jesse, I was thinking about dumping him, but thankfully he just lost it himself, and I didn't have to.
I was gonna say you were definitely looking like you were trying to get him out of the way so you can go start perusing Facebook Marketplace, but he definitely spun there. What is it like being back here in the back of this field? Is it chaotic?
The back, I don't know what you're talking about, Jesse. I'm in the middle of the field right now. We're running 18th.
Per my standards, that's the back of the field. But either way, you're making your way forward a little bit. Mike, you got anything for Blake here?
Oh.
Well, the car looks real good, Blake.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate it. Harpoon Design, head on over, harpoondesign.com. Paint started just $25. Brantley Roden hooked me up with this paint scheme, and it is looking good under the lights here at Richmond. And we haven't junked it quite yet.
I mean, maybe a little bit of some paint off the front of the nose, but either way, it's one to go. You're getting gridded back up. Just wanted to pull you up here in the booth and ask you what the hell happened, so thanks for letting us know.
All right, well, hey, we wish you the best of luck. I'm sure I'll probably end up in the booth by the end of this race when this car won't roll anymore.
All right, 10-4 on that. Thanks, Blake. Well, that was fun to get his perspective on it. He said that the 69 car lost it himself. I'm not buying it for an absolute single second.
That was quite the bump.
It was quite the bump. Familiar faces at the front of the field. Josh Robinson, Tom Ogle lead him into the Juicy Spider restart zone for the third time now. Green flag back out here as they cross the stripe. Lap 11 of 150. Josh Robinson with a great jump again. Tom Ogle falls into second. Scott Rickard and Kyle McCoy going to battle a little bit for that third spot. Don't know if it's going to be much of a battle. McCoy's trying to make it one. He sticks it to the outside, and he's throwing it in there. 7 to McCoy trying to move forward here early. Oh, there's chaos in the back. The 17 around. It's the Duff man, William Duff, out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Your third victim here. Marshall Harris involved in another one. I guess we'll go to the Harpoon Design blimp and take another look at it. What do you think, Mike? Is it going to be more of the same? Somebody just getting spun here?
Very possible.
17. Oh, the 27 lost it himself, and the 17 in the wrong spot. Let's go ahead and back it up and ride on board with the 17. See if he had any chance of avoiding this one. Didn't look like he had much of one. I guess I can't blame the 27 for coming back up towards the track, because if he would have just let that thing slide, he would have probably slammed directly into the tire barrier, so I can't blame him too much.
Yeah, that would have definitely ended his race.
Yeah, I've seen some spectacular crashes into the tire barrier before, and it's definitely a possibility here tonight at Richmond.
And I might be corrected here. You said 10 cautions earlier, and that was overestimating. We're climbing up on them here.
Yeah, we're on a pretty. I don't know the math. I'm not great at math, but being on lap 14 and already having 3 cautions, that's not a great. It's not a great rate, I don't think. Yeah. It's counting up pretty quick. But anywho, I think the lights are already back off on the pace car. No, we've got another lap around here. We're going to go ahead and take a short break, and we'll be right back with you on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Back live once again from Richmond. Pace car getting ready to drop off once again. And they're going to rack them up one more time. The fans are on their feet, off their seats. Green flag back out again from Richmond. Let's see if anything will be different or if it's going to be more of the same. Josh Robinson, a good jump once again into turn one. His teammate Tom Ogle follows him into the corner. Honest to God, I don't know if they're teammates, or at least they used to be. To be fair, a lot of the teams that are filled in here on my side of things are from probably a post from years ago, but they haven't made a more recent one, so I'm just rolling with it. Kyle McCoy finds himself in third. Scott Rickard fourth. Jason Gratton trying to find his way into fifth, but Trey Jackson at 5 is making it a little bit difficult for him here.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the field looks like it's finally starting to single file out in a couple of places.
They're starting to try to, but if we get a good angle, you can look towards the back, and it's still too wide all throughout the back of the field.
Yeah, they're definitely still fighting for passes back there.
Yeah, speaking of fighting for passes, the man I said told me he was quick. He's trying to prove it. He's up 10 spots. The 34 Logan Festitian updated his information to Kannapolis, North Carolina. Don't let it fool you. He is a Yankee New Yorker, and he moved down to North Carolina just like everyone else does from up there. And I'm only saying that specifically about him. Everybody else is cool. Might have a battle for the lead brewing here, Mike, between Josh Robinson and Kyle McCoy. Tom Ogle slipping back a little bit. Might be only a short run car for him. The 7 looks to the inside.
Oh. They are getting side by side here.
I got to tell you, I think Kyle McCoy, yeah, he's making it look easy. I don't know what the deal is at 30 of Robinson. He might be trying to save his tires. They might be having the realization of like, oh crap, this thing might now finally go green, and you don't want to burn your stuff up. But Kyle McCoy and Scott Rickard saying screw that. And just to give you some background, Mike, with these two, Kyle McCoy and Scott Rickard, we used to do the HMS TV power rankings weekly. Ever since I had my first kid, that stopped being weekly, but it seemed like every week Kyle McCoy and Scott Rickard, one of these two would win in Stars and Stripes that week and put themselves above the other one. So it was like they kept switching it back and forth. And of course, Scott Rickard in the 05 takes the lead over, and he is a 3-time champion here in Stars and Stripes. If we get a good shot on the door frame, you might see it right above the window. It literally just says 3-time on it. He's styling and profiling, trying to prove why he's the champ and why he was the champ last year.
He's starting to put some distance out between second and third here now.
Yeah, he's definitely quick out here in this field. Like I said, him and McCoy are definitely commonly your front runners. I will say last season in Stars and Stripes, season number 11, the car was switched every week. They didn't run a single car. You went from IndyCar to ARCA car to Gen 4 to Xfinity. I believe it was the 4 cars they rotated. And you could tell which drivers had a really good feel for what car. There were certain people up front every time that they brought a certain car out. Kyle McCoy, whenever they brought out the Gen 4, was like a completely different animal. Like, he won all the time in the Gen 4. Scott Rickard loves these Xfinity cars. He always did well in those. And I think he had pretty good success in the Indy cars. And they had random people like Zach Kreitz just chilling back here in 9th right now in this Red Bull machine. I'm pretty sure he picked up an ARCA win or 2. So it just, you can tell when people like a car, but this year they went back to the same car for the entire season, and it's going to play pretty well in this Scott Rickard and Kyle McCoy's hands, I think.
Definitely seems that way here tonight.
Yeah, he's trying to run away. We'll bring up the battle screen for you here so you can keep an eye on that gap as we recap the chat. Jake Rive in the chat saying he's got to say that number 5 car is looking real professional, sweet paint going for the realest look. Connor George says he honestly thinks the 5 should keep the blue and gray instead of the black and gray. I don't even know if they're talking about the same 5. If they're talking about the 05 of Scott Rickard or the 5 of Trey Jackson. Either way. Some sharp-looking rides out here for sure, and if you're in the need for a sharp-looking ride yourself, as Blake mentioned earlier, you can head to harpoondesign.com. Paint started just $25, and you're getting a paint from one of the top painters in all of trading paints. So go check it out, harpoondesign.com. Tell them HMS TV sent them. I gotta say, I think we might be looking at a green flag run for the first time here tonight in the Big Mick 150. Haven't had a big crash yet. I'm sure it'll be on the way, though.
Had some battles earlier for 5th between Bowling and Jackson. They were going back and forth for a few laps there, and looks like we got some battles going on back here, too.
Yeah, we take a look. We got Bryce Barfield and Chad White. They're battling for a spot in the top 10. Battle for 10th here between the 36 and the 37. And then, of course, the 21 and the 93 of Ross Tatum and JT Tinker side by side right behind them. And behind those two, you have Brian Lynch and Griffin Salyer side by side. So a cluster of cars here all battling for spots. And this is when it starts to get a little crazy because it's one of those things where you might be faster than the guy in front of you, but if there's no gap there, you can't really go anywhere. So you gotta figure out how patient you want to be. We'll say, looks like Ross Tatum gonna solidify himself into that top 10, leave the battle behind. Take our eyes back to the front of the field. Scott Rickard continuing to lead the way. The gap shrunk a little bit back to Kyle McCoy. McCoy's trying to keep him in check. We'll see if he's gonna be able to, though. It's definitely a tall task. But McCoy there in the 7, if anyone's up to it, it's probably him. And Connor out there in the chat, if you're listening, buddy, I know you loved his Spider-Man 2 paint, but he's got I believe that's what does it say on there? Outer Wilds, I think is what it says on the side of that, or something similar to that in that 7. Different paint scheme this week for McCoy. You got to tell me what you think about it, buddy. And then, of course, the man in the 30 going for the clean look. Josh Robinson holds on to that 3rd spot after qualifying on the pole. Tomo will Kyle Bowling round out your top 5.
Like McCoy's closing that gap.
It's close. He's getting there. I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything with it. We'll keep an eye on it for just a second here, see if McCoy's able to get a run at him. But real quick, I do want to drop back towards 18th here and just point something out. In a row here, we've got Brian Lynch, Ryan Lynch, and Nate Lynch. They're in the 24, the 3, and the 25. So all 3 of the Lynches here tonight following right between each other. But hey, we've got a side-by-side for the lead. Kyle McCoy to the inside, Scott Rickard to the outside. Glad I jumped back when I did because I don't think this is going to be an easy fight for the 7. Well, that might be a little bit too high for the 05. I don't know. It looks like it might work, though. Holy smokes, what a run he got out of the corner. Does the Highline work at Richmond? I did not know this. Wow. Honestly, I might have to put that one in my bag for next time I go here. That was crazy. Connor Gerard being a good pit reporter. He says the 27 called it quits, and yeah, it looks like he did already. That's kind of crazy. I mean, he was involved in that earlier incident, but it's not like he had any crazy damage. But I guess like Connor said, he called it quits. Dylan Grimm, he's got to battle back. He's several laps down, and now he's getting no cautions to get any lucky dogs or anything. So the 23 of Grimm's in a tough spot for sure.
Yeah, we've had a nice little green flag stint here, and that makes me think, when do these guys start to decide to go down for pits?
Yeah, I think I have a little bit of insider information for that with HMS TV and all that. I do believe the main strategy that we're going to see a lot of people do here tonight is going to be a one-stop strategy. They can make it to lap 75-ish on fuel. So I think that's what everybody's going to try to do, is just make it a one-stop. There was thoughts of maybe doing a two-stop and getting the fresher tires, but the fall-off between fresh tires and old tires isn't enough to really warrant that, as Rickard and McCoy side by side again for the lead here on lap 45. Is he going to get this mega run out of the corner again on the high side? He sure is. Holy smokes, look at that. Yeah, I gotta keep that in my bag. I did not know you could get a good run out of the corner like that, running that high in turns 3 and 4 at Richmond. Today I learned something new.
And these two guys just back and forth here too.
Yeah, man, they're some of the best in the
30
business.
catch up here, though.
Yeah, that's the one thing they're battling is doing, is giving other people a chance to get back in the fight. You got the 30 of Robinson there, 11 of Ogle, and the 44 of Bowling there on the right side of your screen. They're not some slouches either. They're looking at this battle and hoping they can go side by side again, and maybe they can swoop in and get them a couple spots. But you know, we're getting ready to be a third of the way through this race, and I know I'm certainly noticing it and loving it. And you take a look at the top left of your screen there, the Hutchinson Motorsports TV logo on top of that tower might be looking a little different. And, you know, that's thanks to the folks at Juicy Spider Studios. I don't know if you have anything to plug with that, Mike, at all, but go ahead if you want and just tell us about what Juicy Spider Studios does, and if anyone wants anything done, how they can reach out.
Yeah, well, you can find us on X or YouTube at Juicy Spider Studios or Juicy Spider Network. We do professional edits, 3D graphics, animations, anything you could think of for broadcast, personal videos, highlight reels. Yeah, that's pretty much what we do. 2D animation, all that good stuff there. But yeah, you can find us on X and YouTube at Juicy Spider Studios or Juicy Spider Network.
Cool deal. And if you need some proof of how good they are at it, well, we're gonna go ahead and take our second break of the night, and we're gonna go ahead and roll some of our ads here, and don't go anywhere. And one of those is gonna be a good commercial here from Juicy Spider Studios. So make sure to words are hard tonight for me, man. I'm tired, but don't go anywhere, because we're going to have more Richmond action for you here on the other side in the Stars and Stripes series. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you.
I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Do what it takes to make you live.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
We're back with you from Richmond Raceway here on HMS TV. The Big Mick 150 is now 65 laps down, and a battle for the lead starting to brew here between Kyle McCoy and Josh Robinson. We're expecting pit stops to be starting here soon. Pit window going to be opening any minute, and that's when the strategy is going to really start to take place if this thing stays green. But man, it looks like the 30 of Robinson definitely going to try to give Kyle McCoy his best shot here before pit cycle starts, don't you think, Mike?
Absolutely. And these guys are pulling away. And the 05 has dropped back quite a bit from his first, second, and third place position here.
Yeah, that is a good point. About 2 seconds back to third place Tom Ogle right now. About half a straightaway's worth or so. Kyle Bowling's made it to 4th here in that 44, and Scott Rickard finds himself back in 5th after leading a good handful of laps here. But we take a look at who has led laps tonight. We got 3 names. Scott Rickard's led the most, but Kyle McCoy is about to change that. And Josh Robinson at 30 right behind him. It's kind of crazy to look at how similar these totals are. Kyle McCoy 23, Scott Rickard 23, Josh Robinson 22. But we're going to have to watch and see. I think McCoy might be trying to run that number up here.
And they're coming up on some traffic here too, and I'm wondering if that's going to change anything for these guys.
That's a good point. They've managed to go through this entire run so far without any crazy traffic or anything of the sort, and they're definitely coming up on some slower cars here. The 17 of William Duff and the 35, the GOAT Blake Hutchinson, going to be the first 2 targets here of these 2 leaders. So maybe the 35 of Hutchinson, maybe he'll door somebody to keep on the lead lap. He's a crazy guy. We don't know what he's going to do, so we're going to have to keep an eye out for that.
Going to go on the inside for the pass. 17's going to take the outside here.
It's probably a smart move. Just get up out of the way. He knows that he's not got the speed to keep up to these guys, hold him off, so he's just going to let him on by and not cause him any trouble. We got the last 5 average fastest drivers on the right side of your screen there. Dylan Grimm's top of that board, but he's got fresher tires. He's been on and off pit road. The 23 of Grimm several laps down, but fastest 2 drivers in the field other than Grimm are Kyle McCoy and Josh Robinson. Your 2 cars on your screen here, 1 and 2. So it's going to be interesting to see if anything has something for these 2 drivers, Kyle McCoy, Josh Robinson, or if they're just going to run away. As you see the GOAT Blake Hutchinson, he goes high to let McCoy by, and probably Robinson too here into turn 1. That is quite the machine that Blake is driving, I must say. It's something. Let's see if we can get a close-up shot of that thing real quick, because boy, that is a vehicle. Look at that thing.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, you know they had a blast making this paint. That had to have been a great time. Man, the 77 of Larry Griffin getting lapped there. He was way up towards the fence. Keeps it clean, keeps it green. We're halfway. Go ahead.
I think he might have touched the wall a little there too.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of caught my eye. I was like, he's way up there. So hopefully everything's fine with the 77 there of Larry Griffin, and they're gonna keep on rolling. Officially halfway through the big Mick 150. Gotta be careful saying that one, but I've said it right so far, thankfully. And we might have pit stops officially starting to happen. The 2 and the 18 of Griffin and Gavin Salyer hit pit lane. I'm sure they coordinated that. And they're going to be the first ones really to come down here right at halfway point. Going to take fuel and tires. And we're going to see who decides to go based off of that. I mean, if I'm Kyle McCoy or Josh Robinson, the battle you have in your head right now is there going to be another yellow flag? If you're very convinced that the answer is no, I think this is when you want to come down and hit pit road. But if there's any little doubt in your mind of, hey, there might be a random yellow, somebody has an incident, gets loose, wrecks going into pit lane, if you think that's the case, you want to stay out as long as possible. Just burn that tank all the way down, because you don't want to be 1 or 2 laps down when that yellow flies. Let's go ahead and hop up to our eyes in the sky, the Harpoon Design blimp. As we take a look at that battle for the lead, let's see what other battles we've got going on. They're pretty close here for 8th. Zach Kreitz. I'm sorry, that's for 7th. Zach Kreitz trying to get by the one of Will Bustler. I'm going to try to work on making that pass happen as we pull up. If I can pull up the board with the best battles. The best battle's actually back here in 14th between Logan Fashchishin and Bryce Barfield. That battle for P7 between Will Bustler and Zach Kreitz. Also a good one. And then Brian and Ryan Lynch right here in the 24 and the 3 trying to duke it out. And I got to tell you a secret, Mike. With there being 3 people with the last name Lynch here, I've just got to tell you the truth. I don't know if any of them are actually related. That's been something I've been meaning to get cleared up. I think Blake knows the relations there between the Lynches, if there is any, but it's something I've never really paid attention to. But they're still all following each other. The 24, the 3, and the 25 of Brian, Ryan, and Nate Lynch, all right here next to each other. It's kind of crazy. I gotta be honest with you, there's not a whole lot going on at the moment. You see the 18 there. 18 is going to be Gavin Sawyer getting a lap back, but he's still a lap down. So he's got one back, but he's still going to get another one. That's the problem with being someone that pits early, especially at a track like Richmond that's so short, is if you pit early, and like I mentioned, if that caution flies and you're stuck 2 laps down, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, and these guys are kind of getting spread out here now for sure.
Yeah, there's several pretty big gaps throughout the field. Kyle McCoy and Josh Robinson, they're kind of sticking together here. Then Tom Ogle, he's back here about 3 seconds back from those guys, and then it's about almost another second back to the 44, Kyle Bowling. Another second back to the 05 of Scott Rickard, who's trying to get by the GOAT Blake Hutchinson right now. You go even farther back, 2.5 seconds back here to Will Bustler in the 1, who's dealing with the 9 of Zach Kreitz there. But definitely some large gaps. I mean, take a look here. 10th is Brian Pashimi here in the 78. 11th, Trey Jackson is all the way back here, 3.5 seconds back from the 78. So this field definitely spread out. And speaking of trying to decide if there's going to be another caution or not, or, you know, kind of placing your bets on that, that's one of the things as a driver, that's one of the things I look for personally, is I think to myself, are these guys getting spread out? Is there really a chance of any chaos, or is it just going to be kind of somebody has to make a mistake on their own? And that's kind of the territory I'm in right now. Is if I was a driver, I'd definitely be thinking about maybe pitting early, having those fresh tires, because I don't know if there's going to be a caution here. A couple more people have hit pit road since we last mentioned it. Brian Lynch, Bryce Barfield, Logan Fashchishin, Ross Tatum have all come down for their stops. Sorry. So that's something to keep an eye on there.
At some point, the number 7 and the 30 will still need to pit right here. Am I right?
Oh yeah, they definitely are going to need a fuel. I think what they're doing right now though is they're just playing against the odds of having that yellow that I mentioned, because they don't want to pit and be stuck a couple of laps down. But if I'm being honest with you, every lap they stay out, some of these guys that have come down already, if it stays green, they're going to have a big advantage because they're setting times right now. Let's take a look. We'll use Brian Lynch as an example. We take a look, fastest 5 last lap. Actually, Ross Tatum, 22.94 on his last lap, fastest on the track. You compare that to Kyle McCoy, who ran a 23.69 It's not that big of a difference, but it's a big enough of a difference that I'd be a little concerned. He's gaining about a second, or half a second to a second every single lap that you stay out. That adds up over about 20 or 30 laps. So we'll see how it plays out. That's probably why I'm not in the car racing. This is probably because they know something that I don't. Logan Fastician gets a lap back on the outside. Go ahead.
And I'm wondering if they did any saving, because it seems like they've been driving it pretty hard.
Yeah, they're definitely driving it hard. I think the 7 of McCoy actually was just sideways there coming out of that corner. So they're definitely not really saving, I would say. But I mean, look at all these cars getting by them here. All these guys that are quicker on new tires, they're just eating up the 30 of Josh Robinson right now, getting ready to do the same to Kyle McCoy. That's got to be weighing on their minds a little bit of like how much faster these guys are. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. Let's check in on your manufacturer leaderboard while we're talking stuff over. Chevy's definitely got the advantage on the field right now. Kyle McCoy's in the lead. Josh Robinson there in second, both in Chevys. And they've got the best average in the field of a 13.1. Tom Ogle, though, representing Ford's well, still holding on to that third spot. Well, as he hits pit road now, that won't be the case. But Ford's with an average of 14. Only 3 Toyotas. Will Bustler, the highest Toyota representative. But big pit stops this time around. Brian Pashimi, JT Tinker, Jason Gratton, Scott Rickard, Tom Ogle among the names hitting pit lane. And they're side by side for the lead. Josh Robinson to the outside takes the lead back over here on lap 97. Kyle McCoy, though, not going to give up just easy. He puts it back to the inside, and they're going to be side by side on the backstretch. Where did this come from?
Yeah, they're really battling it out here.
McCoy hits pit road. He's going to leave Josh Robinson out there. What do you think? The 30 is going to come down next lap? Sorry.
Absolutely. Yep.
We'll have to wait and see. Trey Jackson, Ryan Lynch, Nate Lynch have all stayed out so far behind him. Aaron Poplin, Ross Tatum.
Oh, he does.
Bit of a
He's
bold
going to take
call.
it another lap around.
Yeah, I wish I knew the exact fuel number. I don't know if he's on fumes or what the deal is. But so many people pit 2 laps ago at the same time that I'm curious as to how much fuel he could have left. He's still going to keep cruising, though. Connor Gerard with some math in the chat, saying if the Lynches are related, does that mean there's a 75% chance of them winning? I don't know where you got the number 75% from, brother, but I do say that there is a better chance of someone with the last name Lynch winning than any other name in the field. Let's go ahead and hop on board with your leader, Josh Robinson here. See if he hits pit lane. Oddly enough, he got into the wall there a little bit heading in towards turn 1. Not sure what the deal is with that. He's got no pressure and he's dipping low here early. It looks like he's going to hit pit lane this time, lap 102. Josh Robinson hits pit lane. Will the 5 of Trey Jackson come around and hit pit lane? Trey Jackson still yet to pit, according to my information here, as well as Nate Lynch. But out of the cars that have come down pit lane, Ross Tatum is your number 1 guy. He pit all the way back on lap number 80. So he's got some old tires compared to everybody else, but he's used it to gain some track position. Kyle McCoy is trying to chase him down. I mean, he's got a long way to go. He's about 4 seconds back from the 21. So we'll have to keep an eye on that battle whenever it starts to brew. Trey Jackson, though, out of Mayo, Florida, leads the way, still yet to pit, with Nate Lynch running second out of Manchester. I don't know which state, but he's out of Manchester. I did just notice something on the side of my screen. Kyle McCoy here in the 7 as he chases down that 21 at Tatum. He just set your fastest lap of the night last time around, a 22.61 for McCoy. Followed it up with a 22.63. So McCoy is absolutely putting down heaters right now as he tries to catch up to that 21 at Tatum. The gap was about 4 seconds. It's already down to 2.5 seconds. You can see Kyle McCoy there trying to reel in Ross Tatum. We go on board the 21. You can see McCoy there about a straightaway behind, but that's going to change quick.
Yeah, you can see him moving up to it right there.
Yeah, Ross Tatum's looking in his mirror every lap, and he just keeps going. And eventually, it's going to be a battle for the lead. But for now, like I said, Trey Jackson holds that spot. But, I mean, dude, he has not pit yet. He's the last guy that has not hit pit road out of this entire field. He's got to do it here soon. I guess, to be honest with you, there's a chance he might have hit pit lane and our timing and scoring may have missed it, but, you know, I don't think that's the case. He seems to have decent speed, though, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
You've been green here for over 50 laps.
I was going to say, they're just knocking the laps down. Lap 110 and 150, 40 to go. And we're over 2/3 of the way through this race. We're going to be back with you here shortly for a battle for the lead between Ross Tatum, Kyle McCoy, and Trey Jackson. But before that happens, actually, I'd say before it happens, but it's happening now. I was getting ready to say let's go to break, but we're going to give it just a few moments here because Kyle McCoy's made it to the back bumper of the 21 at Tatum. And Tatum's also caught Trey Jackson at the same time. Jackson goes to the high side, gets out of the way, lets the 21 at Tatum by, take over the lead. But Kyle McCoy is right there on his bumper. They're about to go to battle here. And the 7 of McCoy has the advantage on tires by about 17 laps. And pull up the stats here. You can see McCoy with only 14 laps on his tires takes the lead back over. Ross Tatum 31 laps. Falls back to second. Kyle Bowling about 3 seconds back from these two. So it's going to be the Kyle McCoy show unless something drastic happens. But we're going to go ahead and take another quick break. Go HMS TV side by side, so don't go anywhere. We'll keep an eye on the action, and we'll be right back here with you shortly.
I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
And we're back with you here from Richmond. We are under yellow flag. Aaron Poplin in the 63 must have looped it around or something, because he brings out the yellow just when I thought this thing might go green to the end. Mike, we're going to hop in the Harpoon Design blimp. You can tell us what you see here from the 63. Yeah, got it sideways, locked them up to keep it off. I just... I was about to say you did a good job of locking them up and keeping it off the wall, and then right as I started to say it, just bump right into the inside wall. So he's got to feel pretty bad for not only causing the caution, but two, then still nosing it into the wall after you did such a good job of avoiding it. But that's going to shake things up as Kyle McCoy... Oh, let's go back live. Sorry, I forgot we were on the replay. But most of your field hits pit lane, but Griffin and Gavin Sawyer don't. The 2 and the 18 of Griffin and Gavin Sawyer stay out. You see the 5 of Trey Jackson, the 3 of Ryan Lynch ahead of him there. I think Nate Lynch leading. Oh, Nate Lynch and Aaron Poplin up here behind the pace car. Those drivers are all going to get wave arounds here in a lap or two. Griffin Sawyer does come down pit road this time, but Gavin stays out. This is going to get interesting here. We re-rack the field, and Kyle McCoy, Ross Tatum, Josh Robinson, Kyle Bowling, Tom Ogle, Logan Fetch-Tishin, Scott Rickard, Will Bustler, Chad White. Going to make up your top 10 when we get ready to go back green flag race and we pull it up. Did anyone make any bold strategy calls? Well, of course, the Gavin Sawyer there in the 18s on 45-lap old tires at the front of your field. Somebody say a prayer for him, but throughout everybody else, 4 tires except for the 34 Logan Fetch-Tishin of that DoorDash machine decided to be bold. And he took 2. We're going to have to see how that works out for him. Well, you know Kyle McCoy wanted to keep it green. He had the thing in the bag if it would have stayed green. But alas, it's not the case. And he gets to duke it out with everybody else once again here on the short run, which it took him a while to get to the lead. Keep that in mind. But it's been a minute since I've been able to say it. But the pace car dips off. Gavin Sawyer leads the field in the Juicy Spider restart zone. Green flag is out once again from Richmond. 28 to go in the Big Mick 150. Ross Tatum wastes 0 time to take the lead back over in that 21 Little Debbie machine. He goes to the bottom, makes quick work of the 18 of Sawyer, who's going to drop like an absolute rock. Not even a rock. He's going to drop like tossing a boulder down into a well. He's just going to fall. And he gets in the wall there. It might cause a wreck. 46 of Jason Gratton just smoked the outside wall. Oh, and he gets hit again. That's Dylan Grimm, as if his night couldn't get any worse. Finds a way to hit the back end of the 46 of Jason Gratton well after the wreck is over. But man, he hit the outside wall pretty hard. His car looks decent for as hard as he hit, but we're going to once again hop into the Harpoon Design blimp. And Mike, you can let me know what in the world you see here. Yeah, I want to back it up and hop on board, I think, with the 69 of Ben Shepard. See what he sees here as this thing's happening. Whoa, look out. Yeah, the driver out of Boise, Idaho, good job with the wreck avoidance. Jason Gratton, though, hits pit lane, probably to fix that Chevy back up. Sure, it's got some nose damage there. A slew of drivers hitting pit lane. Larry Griffin, Blake Hutchinson, Gavin Sawyer, Trey Jackson, Ryan and Nate Lynch, Bryce Barfield, among others. But the bulk of your field stays out here. Ross Tatum, Kyle McCoy, Kyle Bowling, Logan Festich, and Josh Robinson, your top 5. Let's go ahead and take a look at the drivers who've gained the most spots. Right now, your top HMS TV hard charger, the man in the 34, Logan Festich. Recently moved to Kannapolis, North Carolina to chase his dream, finding his way into motorsports. And he actually got it done. He has a job with a manufacturer shop, I'm pretty sure. Does work with bodies of some Xfinity and truck teams. So he's out there doing the dang thing. Always rooting Logan on, chasing his dream. He's chasing a victory here tonight at Richmond, up 22 spots. Ross Tatum, though, in the lead. He's up 17. Brian Pashimi sitting in 8th, also up 17 spots. Chad White up 10 in 10th. And Griffin Sawyer up 8, back there in P13. I got to tell you, it was rough for the 18 of Gavin Sawyer. He's already back in 15th. He came down though, and he took tires here under this caution. He probably saw what happened and decided he didn't want to do that again. And so he's got 4 fresh Goodyears on that machine. It's coming down to 30 to go or so when we take the green, or I'm sorry, 20 laps to go or so. Mike, I want to ask you, it could be an easy question, but who do you think's going to come up and take this thing? You think McCoy's just going to run away, or do you think somebody else is going to steal it from him?
Top 10, at least, because we never know what's going to happen here. Sometimes cautions breed cautions.
It could be the case. Ross Tatum gets a good jump. Kyle McCoy falls in behind. Logan Festich and Kyle Bowling side by side for third. The 34 on the outside gets a good run. He's going to the outside of the 7 here on the backstretch. Has to check up a little bit. He was getting loose. He's trying to give it a good run. Didn't have enough. Tom Ogle almost looked to take it 3 wide there for a second. Thinks better of it. Festich and Bowling still side by side for third there, folks. I will say I noticed that some of the audio there got muted. I'm not sure how long it was muted. Hopefully I caught on to it there quickly. I think I have some keybind somewhere that accidentally gets hit every once in a while and mutes some audio, but we got it fixed, and I think we're having a wreck. Will Bustler dropping back. He's mowing the grass. No caution. That's going to be a tough one for the 1 of Bustler. Looked like he got loose out of turn 4. Not sure if he had some help, but he finds himself basically dead last here.
Starting to single file back out here.
I got to tell you, I don't think it's going to last long. We're running out of time. Coming to 18 to go when they hit the stripe this next time. 18 laps sounds like a lot, but when you're at a place like Richmond and the laps are only 22 or 23 seconds long, it's going to be gone in a blink of an eye. These drivers got to act now if they think they have anything. Kyle McCoy sets a new fast lap of the session with a 22.45, but the driver ahead of him in the 21, Ross Tatum, with a 22.46. These two are evenly matched here at the front of your field. And it's all going to come down to is somebody going to make a mistake or not. I think it's safe to say, though, we've definitely got ourselves a race. We drop back towards some of the carnage in the back of the field real quick just to take a look. Bryce Barfield, JT Tinker scrapping it out. It's your side-by-side action going on. Logan Festich, Kyle McCoy. Oh no, McCoy in the wall. Kyle McCoy just caught the fence. We're still green, but we've got to back it up and take a look at what happened to the 7 of McCoy real quick. What happens here? He just dives it in on the 21, gets the apron, and he's loose. Gets bopped by the 44 up into the wall. Might have been a little bit of a late block bear from the 21. We'll have to go back, if we remember, towards the end of this race and see exactly what happened there, I think, Mike. Wow.
Yeah, the 7 drops way back. He's down into 9th now.
Yeah, that's...
And back up to 8.
He tried to make the move, and I guess the 21 said you're not going to do it there, and he just didn't give him much of a lane, which I don't know if you can really blame Ross at all for that, but they're side-by-side for second place, or they were just briefly. Logan Festich finds himself in second now. Josh Robinson in the 30 trying to make his way back forward. I think Robinson has the faster car, but with 12 to go, we'll see how much Festich is going to push it to try to hold him off here. A name trying to get back into the mix there in fourth behind these two guys, Tom Ogle. He's still trying to show that he's got speed, and Brian Pashimi finds himself in the top 5 there. Scott Rickard, Kyle Bowling, Kyle McCoy, Chad White, Brian Lynch round out the top 10 with 11 laps to go. This thing's getting down towards the end. And Connor Gerard puts it best in the chat, says, desperate times call for desperate measures. And look at this door-to-door racing between the 34 and 30 of Josh Robinson and Logan Festich. Battle for second is underway. Ross Tatum might be running away with the lead, but we've still got action. The 34 Festich sticks it to the quarter panel. The 30 doesn't let him clear him yet. He fights back. I just don't think he has enough tire to hold that 30 off any longer, and now Tom Ogle looks to pounce. Let's go ahead and ride on board with the 34 Festich. With 8 laps to go, he's trying to wheel this thing to his first Stars and Stripes podium here. Jake Reif trying to cheer him on in the chat, saying don't eat them tires too bad. Well, he's definitely putting them through their paces, but will he be able to have enough to hold on to the podium spot? Ross Tatum leads the way, but don't look now. The lead that he has shrunk fairly significantly. It was about a second, but now the 30 of Josh Robinson trying to reel your leader in bit by bit. We take a look who's the fastest in the field right now. It is the man in the 30. Things could get interesting here, Mike.
Does he have enough laps to do it?
That's the thing. I don't know. He's within 0.4 of a second now with 6 to go. And we've seen desperation moves happen at Richmond before. So, will it be enough? He has a bit of a slow run out of turn 4 there, but he's going to have to lock in and try to catch the 21 here, who might have been saving up some stuff because he's starting to try to extend that lead. We'll keep an eye here on the battle between these two. Four to go. Ross Tatum holds that spot for now. Logan Festich in the 34 has a bit of a dogfight brewing behind him. Tom Ogle, Brian Pashimi, Scott Rickard, all right here. Scott Rickard using that high line that I didn't think was a thing, and he's making his way back forward I got to be honest, 3 to go. I think our most interesting fight is going to be here for 3rd place. Tom Ogle's right on the back bumper of the 34 Festitian now. Two laps to go, coming down to the wire. Your lead for Ross Tatum, about 0.6 of a second. Logan Festitian tries to hold off a bunch of hungry drivers behind him to take his first Stars and Stripes podium. White flag is out. Oh, and he gets bumped by Ogle. He keeps it straight. Rickard and Ogle side by side. Festitian takes the bottom, but Ross Tatum, he's going down the backstretch. Josh Robinson not going to have enough. And the Little Debbie Chevy Camaro, the 21, of Ross Tatum out of Stewart, takes the checkered flag. Josh Robinson second. Logan Festitian holds everybody off for 3rd. Tom Ogle 4th, and side by side across the stripe for 5th was Brian Pashimi and Scott Rickard. What a finish to end this thing. Ross Tatum with the W. Josh Robinson gave it a good shot, but didn't have enough at the end. And Logan Festitian was holding off some crazy drivers there at the end to take the podium. Man, what do you think about the finish to that race, Mike? It got crazy there.
Yeah, it really did. And I was starting to wonder if the 30 was going to be able to make it happen, and if those the late pit he did, if that actually ended up hurting him.
Yeah, that is a good point. He was one of the last drivers to hit pit lane, so the track position might have meant everything for the 30, but it worked out for Ross Tatum because he was one of the people, or in fact, he was the person that basically pit the earliest there on that first green flag run as he burns it down, celebrates his win here in Stars and Stripes. I think strategy, now that you mention it, I do think strategy definitely paid off for the 21 of Tatum doing that short pit, but man, how things could have been different for Kyle McCoy if he didn't get loose there on that last little bit of a block. Let's see if we can maybe go back and find when that happened. I don't think we're going to be able to. I don't know exactly what lap it was. Let's see. Let's see. I think it could have been right here about lap 135. Let's take a look here. Yes, we did find it. Oh my gosh, I'm good at something for once. Let's rewind here from the Harpoon Design blimp. Eyes on Kyle McCoy. Tell me what you think. Is this a late block or was the 21 justified here?
I'm not really sure there.
Let's rewind it one more
Might
time.
have squeezed him down.
We'll go on board with the 7, see if that tells us anything different here.
You can go inside there.
Yeah, the 21 definitely didn't leave him a lane, but I don't know if he, if he really had to there. It was kind of a mix of both. If I had to give an opinion on it, but the 21's trying to celebrate, and he's got Blake Hutchinson cutting him off. But who knows what's going on there? Logan Festitian and Blake Hutchinson bumping uglies right now. As we go ahead and show you the results here on your screen. Pull them on up. Ross Tatum with the win. Josh Robinson second. Logan Festitian third. Logan was the hard charger, up 23 spots, most laps led, and the fastest lap go to the 7 of Kyle McCoy. 5 cautions for 20 laps. With 8 green flag lead changes, not too bad, but I think it's time to go ahead and get into some interviews. I think the first one is going to be the man in, the man in chat 1 here. Logan Festitian finished in 3rd. Let's go ahead and talk to him.
Yeah,
Hey, Logan.
I was having a shit.
It's Jesse and Mike up here in the booth. You bring home your first podium in Stars and Stripes, fighting off a chaos behind you on 2 tires. Go ahead and walk us through the end of that race for you.
Austin Dillon, who? You know, we had a bad fast Hutchinson Motorsports number 34, brought to you by DoorDash, Chili's, and Hutchinson Motorsports TV. I always feel like I have a good bit of speed at Richmond. Obviously, the lack of qualifying for rookies put me in a pit that I had to work my way back out of. And when Aaron Popland had his little incident, it was kind of a golden ticket. I was looking at my tires, and my crew chief on top of the box, Fogan Lestischen, was doing a fantastic job running the numbers of the tire strategy, and figured out that it'd be a good call to take only right side tires. So I did that. Was able to jump up to 7th, and that first restart after the caution, outside line had a bunch of issues, and having my left side tires already up to 10th just kind of gave me that bump I needed to get. I think I want to say 4th by the time the next caution came around, and just got lucky with P2 and P3 having their little scuffle, and was able to slot right through and get into P2. Was hoping to hold on to that and maybe contend for a win, but my left side started to come back to bite me, and just had to hold on. Appreciate Tom Ogle for not driving over me at every opportunity too, with the way I was blocking. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say we did catch him getting into you once there on the front stretch, but you kept it straight and kept it going. And you said to me, we talked briefly before the race, and you told me, you gave me a heads up. You're like, I'm pretty quick here, keep an eye on me. And I think you were sitting 3rd in practice at that point, and your own team owner and HMS TV GOAT here, Blake Hutchinson, basically was making fun of you, saying how you thought you were fast. And I mean, anything to say to him now that you finish here with a podium?
Scoreboard.
That's a good answer. I mean, where did the GOAT Blake Hutchinson finish? Back down here in 17th. Yeah, tough night 17th. For him. Yeah, tough night. Mike, you got anything here for Logan?
It's quite a race.
Definitely was, and congratulations taking home the podium for the first time, finishing 3rd here in Stars and Stripes. And I believe, is it true that, well, no, because you missed Daytona, so you're going to have to wait another week before you can finally stop qualifying, aren't you?
Yep. Well, everyone's going to be waiting another week. I'm not sure what the rule is on that, if it's just the first 4 races of the season for rookies or the first 4 starts for rookies. So I'll have a chat with race control and figure that out.
Oh, that's right. There is one more. I forgot about that. Getting ahead of myself. But anyways, once again, good job. We're going to go ahead and send you back down. Congratulations on finishing 3rd here tonight. Logan Festischen.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go ahead and get ready to interview the 2nd place guy here, Josh Robinson. Talked to him last week, so talking to him for a 2nd week in a row here on the podium. Josh, it's Jesse and Mike up here in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Hey, guys.
Man, 2 weeks in a row, we're talking to you here. I'm not going to mess with you at all about the sponsorless car now that I know that it's a design by choice. And even if it doesn't have anything on it, it's still bad fast. Finishing 2nd here tonight. Had a decent shot at the win. Of course, started at the front of the field. Go ahead and walk us through this race for you.
I don't think any of us expected to get, all those cautions and rapid fire to start. But then we just kind of got settled in and had a really long green flag run. That was exactly what I wanted to see. Kyle and I were pretty darn even there, and it was going to be interesting to see what happened if that stayed green, because I had a little bit fresher tire, but track position is king here, and from the looks of it, I think McCoy had a pretty good pit stop, which is expected. So it'd be interesting to see how that played out. But Ross had some good speed. He got some really good luck catching that caution when he did, because his old tires were he was on the way back. But sometimes luck is in your in it's just better to be lucky than good sometimes. But Ross is a good fast driver, so sometimes just keeping yourself in position to win is all you got to do.
Yeah, that's the thing when it comes to the pit strategies like this is you don't know which strategy is going to be the best one until the end of the race. And we had questions about how long you stayed out during that green flag run, and you finally end up bringing it down pit road. And Ross had those significantly older tires, and I think he had dropped back to second or third by the time the caution flew. But if you could go back, do you think you'd do anything different there? Maybe pit a little bit earlier, have a little bit better track position going into the final little bit of the race there?
Oh, that's always the key, right? If you know when the caution's gonna fall, I think two choices. You could pit earlier, keep that nice track position. So ideally I would have either pitted about 5 laps before McCoy, or stay out and maybe have quite a few guys a lap down. But you're hitting the lottery at that point.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know exactly what the fuel number was heading into this thing. Do you have any insight on how many laps that you could have went if you had stayed out?
So because we had those early cautions, you could do about 120, 125 laps on that initial tank. And I think the caution came out about 118, but that is putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting call. I thought for sure that there was people running on fumes there at the end, but you still bring home second at the end of the day. Mike, you got anything for Josh here?
Well, just congratulations on your second place finish here.
Thanks, guys, and good job to Ross, and then good racing throughout the field and good racing to McCoy. Seems like we were nose to tail the entirety of the race.
Yeah, it was definitely action-packed. There was a little bit of a lull in the middle, but ended it off with a bang for sure. And before we let you go, do you have any last shout-outs you want to make tonight, Josh?
Thanks, you guys, for putting on the broadcast for Hutchinson Motorsports, and then thanks to Brian and Nate for all their work and keeping the league going.
All right, thank you. Congratulations once again on back-to-back podiums with a P2 tonight here at Richmond, Josh Robinson.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that leaves us one more person to talk to. That's the man in the 21, the little Debbie machine. Might celebrate with a snack cake or two. Ross Tatum, let's bring him on in. Hey, Ross, it's Jesse and Mike up here in the booth. You brought home the win here at Richmond. Go ahead and walk us through this race for you tonight.
Oh man, I don't know. I should have qualified second, hit the wall like a couple feet after start finish line. Didn't count my second lap, so I started like 18th or 19th. So it was just a process getting up to the front. Did a little short pit in there. Luckily, everyone else stayed out pretty long, and by the time that caution came out, I just happened to be second. So used that track position, and I got lucky that Kyle couldn't quite get there, although I do feel bad for cutting him off right there. I cut him off more than I should, but yeah, fun race tonight. It was a lot of passing, so it was unusual for a Richmond race.
Yeah, I think that's the main things that stand out to me was the fact that you definitely win on the strategy call there, pitting as early as you did and having that track position when the yellow flew. I mean, if it stayed green, not to sugarcoat anything, if it had stayed green, you definitely would have been screwed. You had them old tires and you were dropping back, but you definitely caught the caution at the right time. And speaking of the incident with Kyle McCoy, I do have to say I think it could have gone either way in my opinion. He definitely threw it in there. You definitely didn't leave him much of a lane, and it's just kind of a racing deal in my opinion. But either way, it was definitely brewing to be a great battle between you two guys.
Oh yeah, Kyle's one of the best people in this league, one of the fastest, one of the cleanest. So I don't want to put him in a bad situation like that. I guess I wasn't expecting him to be down there. So once I saw him down there, you could see me go up the track, but it was a little too late and he got squirrely. But yeah, Yeah, he was fast tonight, real fast. I don't really remember him being so good at Richmond. Usually this is a Josh Robinson or Tom Ogle track, but he brought it tonight, and he looked like he was the fastest second week in a row. But to come out here with a win feels good. This is kind of a home track for me, so I like that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think he'll have plenty of other chances to bring home W's here this season as well as yourself. But Mike, do you have anything for Ross here?
Just congratulations on your first place victory here at Richmond. Do you plan on taking this to next week?
Man, I would love to, but I would love to. I don't like New Atlanta, but I'd love to race, but I have some Little Debbie obligations next week, so I will be in Asheville, so I will not be able to race most likely. But man, I wish I could. But I think my teammate Will Bustler has a really good chance of winning next week. He's really good at Atlanta, so watch out for him in the 1 car next week.
Oh man, New Atlanta. I have some poor memories from last night where I was in third place heading into turn 4 on the last lap and ended up finishing I think 12th after slamming into the outside wall. So, well, hopefully that doesn't happen to anyone next week. But I gotta say, congratulations on the win here at Richmond, and if we'll be missing you next week in Asheville, hopefully you don't get snowed in or nothing, and you can make it back home all right. But congratulations one more time on the win tonight, Ross Tatum.
Thanks, guys. Oh, and quick shout out to Josh Altus for spotting for me tonight. Awesome job.
Yeah, go ahead. If you have any more, you can go ahead and rip them out. I completely zoned out and forgot. My fault.
Hey, man, I'm tired too, man. It's 11 p.m. I'm ready to go to bed. I got to be up at 6. But, yeah, I just want to shout out Josh for spotting for me tonight, and my teammate Will. Always fun racing with those guys. Everyone at Sergeant Stripes. Nate does such an awesome job with this league. This league, it may not show on the broadcast, but it is really hard to win in this league. There's a lot of really good talent in here. So, yeah, just lucky, and I'll take it any way I get it. But yeah, appreciate you guys broadcasting. You guys are awesome. You, Blake, all you guys do such an awesome job. So thanks to you guys too.
Well, thank you for all the kind words, and one final time, congratulations on the win. All right, that's gonna pretty much do it here from Richmond in the Stars and Stripes series here on HMS TV. I got to thank each and every one of you for tuning in here tonight. It was definitely a good time. Bit of a sleepy period during the green flag run, but well, one caution changed it all, made it a race, made it a blast at the end of the race. Mike, I got to thank you for joining me here tonight, and who knows, maybe we'll be seeing more of you again. What do you think?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, by the way.
Yeah, definitely glad to have you. If you got any, does anything you want worked on? I mean, you if you've been watching, you know the list of things that Juicy Spider can do, and they do all of it well. So go ahead and find them, as you said, on X and YouTube. What was it, at Juicy Spider Studios?
Juicy Spider Studios and Juicy Spider Network.
All right, thanks again for joining me. For Mike from Juicy Spider, this is Jesse Becker signing off tonight here from Richmond Raceway for one final time. We'll see you next time.
42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh my goodness! Oh! The whole field is junk! It's a parking lot! They door slam each other! Checkered flag in the air! It's gonna be too close to call! Oh, he just got smoked! Oh my goodness! He got dumped in the racing! Caution is out. Oh,